What's happening, everybody? It's your man, Dame DNYDC. Two mics up. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final Monday for this season. And I couldn't think of a better way of closing out, our season four, you know, than to have on the mogul that's actually behind Mogul TV. Now, some of you probably haven't, how you haven't been paying attention, I don't know. But, today's guest is really an impressive individual. And I'm just going to throw this up here as we bring Tameka Chapman to the stage to sit down and talk with us this evening. Tameka, you are a multifaceted, diverse individual. I'm not even going to sit here and try to attempt to do your intro for you. So please take a moment and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again so much, Dane, for allowing me to be here and speak with you today. I'm very honored. So to introduce myself, a lot of times, they want you to start with the title. So I'll start with the title. So then I'll tell you what's most important about who I am. But I am a world record holding and number one international best-selling author. I am an award-winning global speaker. I, I am a business growth strategist for entrepreneurs and coaches that are looking to scale their businesses to seven figures and beyond. I am the founder of Mogul TV Global Network, creator of Mogul Domination, which is all about helping those learn business strategy. I'm also the creator of Energize Her Life and Mental Wellness, as well as the State of My Mental brand. Was most important though, the most important titles that I hold are wife, I was a godchild, wife, and mom of two busy toddlers, Aspen and Arden.
Woohoo! Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Tameka has given us a mouthful, but she is a whirlwind and she's definitely a force to be reckoned with. Tameka, how you handle and wear all of these? Well, first of all, I know how because women are amazing. I have one. Right, exactly. I have one that helps keep me on track, and I know I'm a
Right?
handful. So I want to apologize, but with all of that, all of these different hats and different things that you're doing, in your day. I have to really ask, when I stand back and I look, as I've gotten to know you, I'm interested to know what is it, from your aspect, what is it that makes you different from others within the various industries that you serve?
Well, I'll tell you, this is like very, very simple. What makes me different is that, we all start with a passion. We all start with that focus of what it is that we're wanting to be doing in life, in our careers or business or whatever that is. But what makes me different is that I stick with it. I have
Mm,
that gene called perseverance. And
mhm.
even when things don't work out the way that I really think they should work out or the way that I plan for them to work out, I understand how to pivot. So I'm quick to pivot, I'm quick to adjust and changing those things within my business or within myself that I need to change so that I can continue to move forward within my business. So that's the one thing that makes me stand out the most is that not only am I passionate about it, I stay passionate. And when I feel that the passion could be leaning or weaning off a little bit,
Mhm.
I take a step back and I assess, okay, what am I doing? Why am I still doing it? Do I still want to do this? And if I don't,
Right.
okay, it's my decision to make a change. It's my
Right.
decision. So instead of following what everybody else is doing, I tend to do what I feel called to do. And I don't waver from that. I
Mm.
just don't waver from it. A lot of people have told me in the past, oh, girl, you're doing too much. I'm just like, nah, that means you're not doing enough. You're watching me too close. Okay.
It's amazing that you say that. We were listening today to I don't remember what the pastor's name was. But it's like, you have to stay true. And that was the word. And it's so ironic. And this is why I like doing this is so great. Sometimes you hear something, stay to what it is that you do and what you feel
Yeah.
that you're called to do, right?
Yeah.
Don't waver because that's what everybody else is waiting for you to do. That's what they
Yes.
want you to do. And the perseverance part, and that stuck with me. I heard that this morning in the car with my wife. Now here it is later on today. I'm sitting here, I'm having an opportunity. So that just confirms to me that was the message. Now I got the aha and the stamp that
Yes.
this is what you should stay the course. It's not always
Exactly.
going to be easy. Uh it's going to be difficult, but I like how you ended it though. That well, if you're really you watching me too close, then
Come on.
and this is what the pastor said. He said, so then you have to understand that these people are not your friends, they're your fans. You either
Come
have
on.
fans or enemies.
Yes.
So I mean, and I'm going to go into a whole other church. I feel like we're going to church, but we're not
Preach,
going.
Pastor.
But I just had to share that because I mean that just touched me, just hearing
Yeah.
it. Um, I
And
do
but
want to.
it's true. It's true. When I think about perseverance, I think about my own journey in life.
Hmm.
There's been so many things that have happened in my life that I could have been like, okay, I just give up.
Hmm.
Okay, it's just not working. I just can't do it anymore. I'm tired,
Hmm.
and I'm throwing a towel in.
Right.
But that's not how I was raised. I was raised in the Bible. I was raised in the church, but I was also raised to continue to go.
Hmm.
Like understanding that not everything is going to happen in the timing that you want it to happen, right? And so I had an 18-year journey to motherhood, whereas
Mm.
there were so many that have started and they're just like, I just can't do it anymore. I'm tired.
Right.
Well, yes, you're going to get tired of trying. Every
Right.
single month, I was tired. I was tired of thinking that this could be the month.
Right.
It just again solidified that I have the strength to keep going. So I have when those times happen where it seems like everything is just down in a dumps. It's
Yep.
like I have to dig deep within to pull out that perseverance,
Yep.
knowledge from within, and say, okay, I got this. Let me just keep going. Let me just keep holding on and keep going, because eventually, as long as I'm in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing,
Yep.
it's going to work out. I'm going to see success. I'm going to continue to make the impact that I started out wanting to make.
Mm.
So yes,
That is so
absolutely,
so
perseverance.
so true, so powerful right there. Well, look, y'all, I'm glad y'all sat here with us as we had a little church here. That I hope you all enjoy, but let all of that sink in because it really is so true. And something that you also said to me that I found interesting when I went and kind of did some reading about you is, your childhood vision.
Yeah,
And that childhood vision and how you've actually been able to turn that into a seven-figure generating action plan. First of all, I got to applaud for that because when I first saw it, I was like, no way. And then when I went back and read, I found it to be an amazing story. So could you take a few minutes and just kind of walk us through, your childhood vision and how you got to where you are today?
absolutely. I'm from Louisiana, from a little country town, Louisiana called Natchez, slash Natchitoches, Louisiana. And, growing up, it wasn't a lot to do besides to go to school, learn. Well, for me, you couldn't get into a lot of trouble, but for me, I had eyes on me that made sure that I stayed on the straight and narrow and did what I was supposed to do and stayed out of trouble the way that I was supposed to stay out of.
Hmm.
But I remember when I was around 8 years old, I'd gone to this garage sale. So, yes, I'm dating myself, y'all. I'm dating I went to this garage sale with my aunt, and I was able to purchase an entire set of encyclopedias of my
Mm,
own. I'm a nerd as well. I love to
mm.
read, but I was able to purchase an entire set of encyclopedias for $5. Well, I was in book heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like I got all these boxes of just books. And so they were in my grandmother's shed. And so anytime I wanted to read books, I would go into my own little library, check books out, and read the book. And I read every encyclopedia from front to back.
Wow.
As an 8-year-old girl, it was mind blowing. Now, some of the words I couldn't say, but I understood as much as I could by looking at the pictures too, right?
Right.
But it was mind blowing that all of this stuff exists in the world. All of these things, oh my gosh, like, wow, that's real. And
Hmm.
so at that point, I remember standing on the steps of that shed and I yelled to the world, when I get older, I'm leaving, I'm traveling the world, and I'm empowering girls all over the world. Uh, like that was at 8. And going on after I graduated high school, I actually joined the military, the US
Mm,
Navy, and I did travel. I did travel and I met a lot of women. I met a lot of men too, but I was always empowering somebody to feel good about themselves,
Mm-hmm.
to lift them up in some kind of way. So I'm always that positive person. That's always, if you see somebody with a frown, like what can you do to, make them
Yep.
smile? Turn that frown around, right?
Yep. Right.
And so it just continued to be that way all through
Mm.
my entire adult life. I've been inspiring and empowering women, whether that's in life and or business or a side hustle or whatever it is that they're wanting to do. I've continued my path of empowerment. And in May of 2020, I hosted a vision board party.
Mm-hmm.
And that vision board party, the name of it was Go Bigger.
Okay.
Go Bigger. And so at that vision board party, on my vision board, it was very, very sparse, but the few things that I had on it was cheerleaders, so that's women empowerment. And
Okay.
then I also had a camera with a film set, like in production. And I put the title WOTV HQ. I had a brand at that point called Woman on the Verge. And
Okay.
I said, I'm going to do something. I got to do this. I'm going to do it. And so I didn't know that I was truly manifesting it, even from the age of 8, truly continuing to manifest into my life what I'd be doing. But in September 2020 was that moment that I said, you know what? I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to do the ultimate thing that I can do with whatever platform that I have to create an empowerment scene. And that's what I've done. I started as a channel for a year. I was on a different network, and then a year later I wanted to make sure that I was able to have the impact and have the voice be heard the way that I felt we needed to hear it, from a positive scene, but also talking just real life stuff and
Mm-hmm.
having real conversations.
Yep.
And that's when Mogul TV Global Network was born.
That's an awesome and amazing story, and I'm excited by because I a lot so many pieces and parts of your story really jive and connected with with me and what we're trying to do with our platform as well. That empowerment piece, and I use it in so many different ways. But I said it here even on the show. Sometimes if one black or brown boy or girl can see and hear this conversation
Yeah.
and that light sparks something that makes them want to do something different and do it through education, because education comes in different ways. It can
Yeah.
be book smarts, it could be through a trade.
Hmm.
It's multifaceted, but now you're educated now that you want to do something positive to leave that impact.
Exactly.
And what you're doing with Mogul TV and the network, when I look across at all of these great creators that we have and all the things that you do, from your point of view with your show, the magazine, and all the things that you're doing, it just makes me feel good because, like, I'm like, this was it. This was the right move and this was the right connection. And
Yeah.
thank you. Because I mean, everything starts at the top. And now that we've had, like I said, chance to get to know each other, like I said, I really walk away feeling like, this was the perfect marriage, if you will, the perfect connection. So I'm just
Yeah.
truly honored and proud to be a part of the family. And I'm glad that, you're here with us today. So
Thank
with
you.
that said, yes, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We're going to take a quick pause for the cause because we're going to come back after the break and we're going to talk with Tameka about some other things. We want to dive in a little bit more about the aha moments with Mogul TV. And we're going to talk a little bit more, but we're going to do that after we take a short pause and we'll be right back after the break. right, ladies and gentlemen, and we're back. We're sitting here today. We're talking to, as you can see, Miss Tameka Chapman, the actual mogul behind Mogul Media TV, the whole conglomerate, the whole kit and caboodle, the whole shebang. And we've been talking and really getting to know a lot about Tameka, uh, her growth, where she's from, how we've kind of gotten to where we are today. But I think there's a really important piece to this when people see you, Tameka, or someone who's doing and making moves like yourself. I always like to ask this one question because I think it's important. You know, you've had to go through some challenges getting to this point. Um, but what would you say maybe has been your biggest challenge? Getting to this point, and how were you able to work through it?
Wow, Mr. Dank. Let me say again, very, very simple answer. And I think this is probably the one thing that a lot of people deal with
Hmm.
is the mindset part. The
Mm.
mindset of, can I do this? Right? And will I
Hmm.
be able to be successful with this? And does it make sense for me to do this? So it's a bunch of questions in my
Mm.
head of whether I was actually doing what one was in alignment
Hmm.
to something that I was capable of achieving. Because here's the thing. Growing up, again, I'm a nerd. I love to learn, and it was all about, I'm going to be successful at everything that I do. I have
Mm.
to be successful at what it is that I do. I want to be successful at what it is that I do. So I didn't see others as competition. It was more of, I was, pretty much competing with my mindset, whether I would really be able to do and make the impact that I'm wanting to make. And so, having to think about, how do I strategize this? How do I, one, collaborate and partner with others who are
Mm.
doing phenomenal things? That was actually a part of the strategy, because I believe, there's a saying that, if you want, well, the proverb, the African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Together. Yep.
That's my whole thing. I want to go far. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take me to create the impact. As long as I'm doing it in the right way, it's going to outlast anything else that's out, right?
Mm. Hmm.
And so my biggest challenge was just me strategically thinking, how do I piece this together to make sure that it stands the test of time, to make sure that it looks good, feels good, sounds good, make people want to be attached to what it is that we are doing.
Hmm.
Um, but I would say that I've always had a mindset of success based on, something traumatic happened when I was 13 years old, and I had an
Mm.
aunt that prayed over me for almost like 2 weeks straight.
Mm.
And at the end of each prayer, she would always say, "Everything you touch will turn to gold."
Mm.
And so that saying has been with me throughout my entire life. Now, I, I grew up in the church, but I didn't know it was part of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
was
Right.
supposed to be telling me that I'm going to be successful, right? So I went through my entire life getting good grades in school, excelling at everything that I did. And it was because I believe that everything I touch will turn to gold. And so
Mm.
that is the belief that I live in. And so again, the biggest challenge that I believe that I have had to, um, face is the mindset part, the
Mm.
mindset of, knowing that this is going to be successful, and it doesn't have to look like what everybody else is doing. As long as I stay true, again, staying true
Hmm.
to the path that I'm supposed to be on, it's all going to work out.
Mm. And that was that end part. That's what, because your success does not look like my success. And
Exactly.
we have to be clear about that. And I also love the fact that you say it, and I know I've gotten to know a lot of people in the space of media and what we're doing, business owners, entrepreneurs. This is not a competition. It's
Mm-mm.
really not a competition. There's enough room out here for all of us to
Everybody.
create and
Yes.
drive in our own lanes. But I do like, and I do believe in the most important part is, though, sometimes it's better to do it together
Yes.
and getting there together. And I just really feel, just in what you said, and like I said, this whole thing just jibes so well and meshes so well. I see long-term success, you know, with Mogul TV, two mics, and
Yes.
everyone under the umbrella.
Yes.
But doing this together, I think is the goal, and everyone has to be appreciative of their own success, because it
Hmm.
will look different from mine and yours, but we're doing
Exactly.
this together. So I love how
Exactly.
you shared that, because it's really important for people of color, especially,
Mm-hmm.
to really work on their mindset and
Absolutely.
really believe that, what you think and then how you say it and put it into the universe can really happen. It really can come true.
It does. It does, Mr. Dane. Listen, there's one other thing is I had to come to understand is that um oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, and it just slipped my mind. Oh no, no. Enjoy your journey while you're on it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. That was one of the biggest things that I have learned along the way. It didn't just start now. It started years ago. I would probably say around in 2016 when I had to actually have a sit down conversation with me and God. It was
Mm-hmm.
just like I had to start enjoying my journey.
Yep.
I had to start being grateful, truly grateful for the things that I have right now if I'm expecting to receive anything in the future.
Mm.
So it's all about, we want to say, oh, I've been through this and I've been through that. But if you can't help somebody else come out of it because you're not even paying attention to
Just,
what you're doing right now,
mm.
how are you going to help somebody else?
Mm.
So
Mm.
begin to pay attention to your life right now. Begin to enjoy the journey because there's something so much greater on the other side.
Mm.
That was one of the things that I had to learn. And that's one of the ways that I live right now. I just enjoy every single moment because you never know, one, when it's going to be your last moment, right?
That's
Or
so
with
true.
that, within that situation, when it's going to be your last moment, but also all just paying attention because just like you and I are talking, there's going to be somebody else that's going to need to hear what it is that I'm saying
Yes.
or hear my journey or the things that
Yep.
I've gone through. And
Yep.
I want to be able to share that. But if I don't pay attention, if I don't, start slowing down and thinking about the things that I'm doing, I won't be able to share that with anybody.
Mm.
Yeah.
Look here, we giving it to y'all today as we close out. It's right here, man. You're gonna have to put this in the archives, play it back, whatever, because these right here are some real gems. And you don't get these everywhere, so hope y'all are paying attention. It,
Absolutely.
I do want to ask, just really brief, because you mentioned it, mindset, but becoming a boss, and really becoming a boss. If there was a young, lady out here watching you, what would be one piece of advice, that you could give her, to inspire her to want to be a boss just like you?
Oh wow, it's a lot of advice that I would give. But the first thing that I would really say is to believe in yourself, right? To affirm yourself. I have this saying that I say, affirm you or society will form you.
Mm,
So you have to believe in you enough that you are capable of doing exactly what it is that you have envisioned,
mm-hmm.
right? Anytime that I am thinking about doing something, I start writing it down first. Then I pray on it.
All
And
right.
then I start to visualize. And if I can truly visualize all the way through to next level type strategy, I'm just like, okay, I see the plan, I see the path. I can actually start the process. And if I don't feel that I can do it on my own, then I surround myself with people who can help me. But
Mm,
you have to believe first in you before anybody else will. So if that is you wanting to be a seamstress and you want to sit here and you want to sell dresses like Vera Wang, okay,
mm-hmm.
you can do that.
Yep.
Use your own creativity. We all have gifts inside of us. We all have talents that
Yes.
we can tap into to do exactly what we're supposed to be doing. And
Yep.
it's not the same for everybody. It's not the same for everybody. We all have a different talent. I'm not the biggest talker. Okay, let me just go and put that out there.
Surprise.
I am such an introvert. Oh my gosh, I'm such an introvert. However, if I'm wanting to do something, I know that I have to come out of my shell for one. I
Yes.
have to come out of that shell to say, okay, if this is what I'm wanting to do, then this I have to do this part. But you be strategic in what it is that you're doing.
Right.
So the biggest piece of advice that I would give any young lady who is wanting to, be creative or wanting to be her own boss, have her own company, run the show, if you will, I would say it's the one believe in yourself and believe in what you are supposed to be doing. Because
Mm,
if you don't believe it, you can't sell it to anybody else. Nobody else is going to believe in you either.
mm. Period. I can't even say nothing else but to that one. Then straight up, that one right there, we're gonna put the period, the end on it, the end all be all, and we're gonna call it what it is with that. But I do want to, before we go to Mika, as we close out this amazing conversation today, I want everyone to be able to have an opportunity to to follow you, Mogul TV, and everything that's coming down the pipe, from the network and all of our other fabulous creators. So take a moment and please share some of the social media where people can find you in Mogul TV.
Absolutely. So I'll start with Mogul TV Global Network. You can download the app Mogul TV Global on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. You can also find us on our web app www.themoguls.tv because we are the moguls. Okay. Uh, but at Mogul TV Global on any platform, social platform that's out there. And then for myself, if you want to get more information about all the other things, including the magazine, all the other platforms, you can visit me at mogulmedia.us or find me on social at I am Tameka Chapman.
Mm. So we're gonna make sure we put all of that in the show notes. I want you all to please take time out to one really go out and support and follow along with Tameka, all the work that she's doing here at Mogul TV. Like I say, I hate to say, we had such a great conversation. I didn't get an opportunity to chime in and talk about the magazine and all the other great work, but we're gonna have to come back and we're gonna bring that back and just make that a solo conversation all by itself. But Tameka, thank you again. It's really been a pleasure to have you here with us as we close out another amazing season 4, our brand new home. Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you see us again real soon. But until then, you know how we always do here on Two Mics. You can follow us up on social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Two Mics Up. If you're watching this on YouTube, yeah, I mean, we try to, but if you want to, go ahead and hit the bell so you can be notified about all the newest content coming to you from me here at Two Mics Up. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. Shoot me an email. All criticism is really good criticism. That's how you grow and learn. But like we always do, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, may you all stay safe, stay blessed. Mike's out.
007.